Welcome, welcome, welcome to the home office. My name is Thomas Fairman. I'm the founder of Charge Performance Lifestyle Training. And if you're watching the recording, again, welcome, get settled in. We're going to be here for about 20 minutes. And this video could change the way that you live every day for the rest of your life. Because if you're anything like I was tolerating having health that wasn't a match for what I was up to in life. And every day I get to recreate my commitment to having thriving health while working at a desk for 40 or 50 hours a week. Because the reality is, your body was not designed to work at a desk. And the reality also is, you probably are working at a desk if you're here. And even if you don't work 40 or 50 hours, but you work 3 hours at a time or 4 hours at a time, multiple times a week, working at a desk, this is really going to benefit you because there's certain things that happen to the human body. Some of them are a forward hunched in the posture, back pain, excess tension in the hips, and all of these things, low energy. There's so much else that happens as a result of living in a way that's out of alignment with the way that we were designed as human beings, the way that our body evolved. So today I'm going to show you the 5 key moves that if you work at a desk and you do these every day, you're going to feel a heck of a lot better. You're going to have a bunch more energy. You're going to have better mobility throughout the most important joints of your body. And you're going to be more productive and higher performing at work. That's really what it's all about. So briefly about me, my name's Thomas Fairman. I am the founder of Charge Performance Lifestyle Training. This was something that I started back in 2015 when I was in college. I started training people. And then when I worked in tech in Silicon Valley for a couple of years, I became a manager of a global team of sales engineers. I had calls at 6 in the morning and then at 7 p.m., calls with EMEA and then calls with Australia. So was working these crazy hours. And one day I woke up with back pain so bad I couldn't get out of bed. I had been shooting a video. And I went to go turn off my camera and I walked towards my camera and I put my left foot down on the ground. A shooting pain went up my leg, up my spine. I was like, oh my gosh, did something just happen? So I put my weight back down on my left foot. I was like, am I okay? I'm probably okay, right? I'm fine. And then I felt the pain again. So like, no. I limped over to my bed. I need to lie down. I need to take it easy. So I laid down for 30 minutes, pulled out my phone, answered a couple of emails. It's like, I'll be fine. I just need to rest it for a sec. Went to get up and I couldn't get out of bed. My wife that day made me all my meals. The next day she'd stayed home from work to take care of me because I didn't take care of myself by doing moves like what I'm about to show you. So I just want to speak to the importance of maintaining your health while working at a desk, because if you don't, there's going to be an impact. It's going to happen sooner or later, but it is going to happen. And so the optimal way to do these stretches that I'm about to show you is every day. You do them first thing before you sit down to your work. And if you have symptoms, if you have pain in your body, if you can feel tension growing in your body, you do them a second time. Do them in the middle of the day. You can also do them a third time. They won't hurt. If there's one particular of these movements that really feels the best for you, do that one multiple times. Okay. So I founded this company to support people like you, people like myself, entrepreneurs, executives, people working remotely from desks. We have some freedom and some ability to create our schedules and to move throughout the day. We have this amazing opportunity. And when we get so sucked into technology that we let it run our entire lives, then we end up with pain and our brains don't work right. We're constantly stressed. These things happen to us. So I've put together this training, this 4-part training that is going to be released over the next few days to share with you the ways that I optimize my lifestyle for high performance at work and a body that feels and looks great. So today I'm going to show you these 5 moves, as I mentioned. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to optimize your workouts. On the day 3, we're going to talk about nutrition and how to fuel your body for performance through the food that you eat and the water you drink, the breath that you breathe, because nourishment and nutrition is more than just the food that you eat. And then on day 4, we're going to talk about other lifestyle tools. We're going to talk about how to position your desk, how high to have your keyboard, where to position your monitor, all stuff like that. So without further ado, thank you for being here. And let's move a little bit. So the first thing you're going to want to do feels so good. Okay. If you're sitting in a desk right now, I invite you to get up and just create a space where you can move. For one of the moves later in this series, you're going to need either a ball or a pillow. Also, a yoga block works. If you have a yoga block, that works really well. But just an object like this that's semi-squishy, and we'll get to that in just a minute or a few minutes. And the first move we're going to do is called 90-90 neutral back position, and you're going to love it. So head on over to your desk. Or you could do this in the living room if you have space, but somewhere where there's a carpet, you're going to be lying down, or you might have to put a yoga mat down. And you're just going to put your legs up on top of your chair, just like this. Lay your arms out to either side of you and just lie down. So this is it. This is literally it. Your knees are stacked directly over your hips in this position. So if you notice you're out a little bit too far, move your hips closer so they're directly under your knees. You could even have your knees a little bit higher than your hips. So even a little bit like this, but ideal, knees directly over hips. We call this 90-90 neutral back position. And what this is doing here is it is decompressing the spine. So why do we do this? First of all, just to relax. Just breathe, chill out. Life can be stressful, work can be stressful. And then there's the stress that we put on ourselves to perform and to show up. So it's important to stay calm, to stay grounded in the face of whatever life is throwing at you. And this is one of the best ways to do that. So we're decompressing the spine. So as you sit all day, you can imagine your vertebrae are stacked on top of one another as you're sitting in a chair, right? Slowly but surely, gravity pushes down on those vertebrae and compresses them together. Now, what we do when we lie down is they have some time to just spread out a little bit. And you can feel that in your spine. We also have the hips in a flexed position because the hip flexor is the only muscle that connects your lower back to the only muscle that connects your lower body to your upper body. And it actually connects to your lower back. So we're taking some stress off the lower back by lying in this position. Lie here for about 90 seconds, 90 seconds to 3 minutes, maybe even longer if you like. If you want to do meditation, this is a great way to do it. If you just want a work break and you want to, I don't know, check emails or scroll through Instagram for a few minutes, this is a great position to do that in because you're decompressing the spine. You're getting a different position for your body, okay? Now, when you've done with that, take the feet off your chair or the couch, whatever you're on, and we're going to move on to exercise number 2. So that's number 1, your 90-90 neutral back position. Now, exercise number 2 is going to turn on your core. When we sit all day, the spine gets compressed and the back muscles tend to do the job that the core is designed for. So what we're going to do is turn back on those abs. I'm not going to go into every intricacy of why we do these movements. Just know that I've spent the last 5 years plus identifying which movements are the best to do to decrease the symptoms associated with sitting at a desk, for the unwanted symptoms associated with sitting at a desk for long hours. So number 2 is going to be what we call heel taps. And I'll show you some progressions to this movement. So lie down with your heels up. So as if that chair was still there, but it's gone now, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to place your hands underneath your low back. Lift up your low back a little bit, create a little arch in there. And now place your fingertips under your low back, just below your belly button. Now press your low back into your hands. Suck your belly button in towards your spine. Engage your abs. Push the low back through the floor. Like you're trying to press your hands into the floor. If you try and pull your hands out, you're pushing down into the floor so hard that you can't pull your hands out. Now from here, maintain that pressure while you tap one foot on the ground and then the other foot on the ground. Go back and forth, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5. We're going to go for 10 and 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9 and 10 and 10. Make sure to keep maintaining that lower back pressure, that pressure with your abs the whole time. What we're doing is we're turning on the transverse abdominis, this muscle that's underneath your six pack. It's in the very core of your being, right around your organs. And it's a very important, it's like the center of your muscles, okay? So it's really important for stability. Now lie here for just a moment. Good. You might feel a little tension in the hips, the top of the hips. That's the hip flexor. So once we've got the core starting to engage, we go back and we make sure to loosen up the hips. So when we're sitting all day, the hip flexors get really tight. So we want to make sure that we loosen up those muscles. Just doing a time check there. So here we go. To stretch the hip flexor, best way to do this that I've found to start with is to step forward with one foot at a 90-degree angle. Okay, just like this. So from here, press that back foot into the ground, press the front foot into the ground. Okay, we're in a hip flexor stretch here. Breathe deep. And when I say press, I really mean it. I mean, press this foot like you're trying to push your foot into the ground and push your front foot into the ground. And you'll feel that dynamic, that activation of the legs by doing that. We want to bring our awareness out of our head down into our lower body, neurologically speaking. We want to connect with the entire body. So from here, there's a couple of different ways you can modify this stretch. If you want to deepen the stretch into the hip flexor, you can come a little bit further out. Make sure you're pressing down through both feet. You can reach up with one arm and grab that elbow with your opposite hand and pull it up and over. Leaning slightly back. You can also do, one I love to do is a twist. So pretend you're rowing a boat. You grab an imaginary oar and row back, twist, and then reach up and over, stretch the shoulder, mobilizing the shoulder. Exhale, row on the other side. Good. Inhaling up and over, exhale, row. Here we're moving the thoracic spine. That's your upper spine. This part of your body as you twist. So really focus on twisting your shoulders, keeping the core engaged. Hips are still pointing straight forward. And go back and forth a few times and then switch legs. Other leg. Press that front foot into the floor. Press that back foot into the floor. Again, same thing, other side. If you notice one side is tighter than the other, spend a little more time on that side. So my right hip flexor feels tighter than my left. So I might spend a little extra time on this side. In the interest of time, I'm not going to, just so we can get through everything I want to get through today in the most time-efficient manner. I know that you value your time, okay? So I really have picked out the most efficient way to do this. That's why we do this twist. See what I'm doing here? We're going back to the row because we're healing two birds with one stone, as one of my teachers would say. Getting the thoracic mobility going on. We're also stretching the hip flexor. Okay, Now come out of that. Oh, that's gonna feel so good. Doesn't that feel good? Okay, now, number 3, we've got a glute bridge with a block squeeze. So when we're sitting, the channels, if you're talking from a Chinese medicine perspective, and the nerves, if you're talking from a Western medicine perspective, that get shut down while we're sitting. Just imagine you're sitting, are the glutes. I'm sitting on my butt, right? So my butt doesn't get the work that it needs. So from here, also the inside channels of the legs, the adductors, don't really get to perform their job. And we often get there's a whole set of symptoms that happen that can be associated if you have a lack of libido, lack of sex drive, or you have digestive issues, belching, gas. If you have also urinary stuff, bladder stuff, all of that can be impacted by that we sit a lot. I'm not going to go into all that today, but just know that there's so many impacts of sitting that not many people talk about it because it's not comfortable to talk about. But how do you heal and prevent these things from happening? One of them is this stretch move I'm about to show you. It's a glute bridge with a block squeeze. So grab a block or a ball or a pillow, pop that between your knees, and you want your knees to be just wide enough so they're parallel. Your thighs are parallel. So you don't want to use something that's too wide that you're like this. You want to use something that's just wide enough you can put just below the bony part of your knees and right there, okay? So my thighs are parallel. Now from here, okay, you're gonna press your heels. You wanna use a surface that has a little bit of traction because you're gonna pick your toes up. You're gonna press your heels away from your shoulders and lift up into a glute bridge. Now, you're also gonna be squeezing that block. Squeeze that block with about 50 to 60% intensity. Wake up those adductors, squeeze the butt. You can even tap your butt a little bit. Wake up butt, okay? And then pulse, 1 inch down, 1 inch up at the bottom. And repeat until you can really feel you're driving those hips up and over like in an arc. You're not just trying to press your hips up into the sky. You're focused on pressing them up and over. Squeeze the glutes. 3, 2, keep squeezing that ball or that block, 1 and down. That's about 30 seconds. Work up to being able to do a minute. And if you really want to challenge, you can extend the arms up, interlace the fingertips, point like a gun, squeeze the ball or the block, drive those heels away, lift the hips up. Now, extend one foot into a kick and then the other. Keep the belly button sucked in towards the spine. Don't let your hips sag either way as you kick. So here we are, and down, and kick, and down, and alternate. Go about 3 to 5 times each side. That's a way to progress that movement and really build some amazing core stability using just a ball or a block or a pillow. Okay. Oh, if you also on that core exercise we did with the heels, the heel taps, a way you can progress this movement, this one, is you can kick. So instead of just touching, you kick that leg, squeeze the butt again, and then bring it back. Kick and bring it back. And then when you've got that, take the hands out, arms up, and you could do dead bugs. So alternating one arm, one leg, all the way out till your foot is just an inch off the ground, hands an inch off the ground, and then come back. And then the other side. Work up to doing 12 on each side of these. Opposite arm, opposite leg move together. Common mistakes. Watch this opposite arm. It's not doing something different, okay? Keep it right here. There you go. It can get confusing when you start to do this move. Don't worry about that. Take it slow. You'll get it, okay? Now, the fifth and final move that we're gonna do today is a plank. And I'm gonna show you a particular way of doing it, okay? because the plank is an amazing exercise when it's done correctly. So how you want to do this is get your forearms down on the ground. I like to take them parallel. You can use them like this, okay? But I coach people to use them parallel, and it's like you're going to rip apart the ground. So I want you to imagine you're trying to tear apart the ground at the same time as you're pressing down. So you're creating this dynamic tension that activates everything up into the shoulder, across, and all the way through your body, activating, bringing this tension into the body, okay? So that's the idea here. So forearms parallel, legs extended. Your body is in a complete straight line, big toes touching. Okay, rotate those forearms externally. So you're like trying to tear apart the ground. Drive your elbows into the ground. Lift the back of your heart. So really watch the arch of my sweater, right? Watch my back. Boom, going up. Especially in the upper back. I want you to really ground your upper back. Squeeze the legs together. And then pull the elbows towards the toes and the toes towards the elbows. Tuck the chin. So you're really trying to squeeze. It's like you're trying to wrinkle the carpet or wrinkle your yoga mat while keeping the legs straight. Hold that. I'm already shaking. Okay. Squeeze the legs together. Hold that for 30 seconds. Work up to a minute. You don't have to do a whole lot of time here. The point is activating your core, activating your whole body. The biggest problem, the biggest, let's call it a problem with sitting is we lose awareness of our bodies. And then we start to compensate. So you'll start to sit and you'll start to lean on your offhand from your mouse. So I do this. This is how I compensate, right? I lean on this left arm and I use my mouse hand on my other hand. And then I have a twist in my spine that over time has started to appear. And so I have to do these exercises to bring that awareness back to my body, because the body is an adapting machine. It is built to adapt to whatever you expose it to. So doing these exercises is going to have your body, doing them every day, is going to have your body adapt in a way that optimizes your performance and optimizes your neurological system, your nerves, right? The nervous system is the system that controls all your brain. It controls your nervous system is your brain. Okay, and all the nerves, the electrical wiring of your body that's connected to it. And it connects to all your muscles, to all your organs. So it's the central control system of your body. Now, when we do these exercises, we prime the nerves in these important muscle groups so that throughout the day, we continue moving in the way that our bodies are designed to move. Because when we don't, that's where we run into back pain. That's where we run into hunched posture. And this stuff develops over time. So if you're just watching this for the first time, I recommend you do these exercises for 2 weeks at least every day, and then see how you feel. Notice the difference. And then keep doing them. Don't stop. Because it's over the long haul that the difference really gets made in your body. If you've been working at a desk for years and you're just starting to do exercises to correct your posture and optimize your posture, then you're going to need to do these for a while before they really make the big difference. But they will. They will. Not just now, but in the future when you're 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. That's what's going to set you up to live a life, a long life, a full life by taking care of the body the way it's designed. So that's it for today. Tomorrow, we're going to come back for day 2 and talk about how to optimize your workout, how to decrease the amount of time that you're working out and get more results. What? How is that possible? Well, it's possible because, number one, rest is so important. We don't necessarily need more stress. Do you need more stress in your life? If I ask you that question, do you need more stress in your life? No, of course you don't. Okay, but that's what working out is. So we want to do just the right amount of working out to elicit the response we want. while also getting the rest that we need in order to have that create the maximum benefit. Maximizing the return on investment of every minute you invest into exercise is part of what this is all about. So we're going to learn some ways of exercising that are a little bit different from the mainstream. You're going to love it. So come back tomorrow. If you have a TRX or a pull-up bar or a set of gymnastic rings or a set of dumbbells, those will be really good to have because we're going to be doing some pulling motions tomorrow. So that's it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thanks for coming.